Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we continue working on our boilerplate file we will use. This is the last video when we set up our project, and next video will be actually video about the first hour animation. Okay, let's continue. As I mentioned before, we need to track of users' actions. In most cases, users interact with web page using mouse to scroll, click, navigate. So to get all types of mouse events, let's just Google that. Yes, that is a way how developers solve problems. Just Google that. I would ask something like list of events JavaScript. Yeah, and I picked up this one. It has something about properties, but we basically need something. Yes, this list event types. So let me just copy paste this as a reference to our file. So we will look through this list and remove those events that we will not use. Okay, on click we will use this event. On context menu also will use this event. It can be used at some point, for example, when we don't want to show this context menu, we can block that, but instead we want to maybe switch colors or show our own menu in the game. On double click we will use that. On mouse down also we'll use that. It can be very useful for drag and drop type of effects. On mouse enter won't use that because mostly it is used for DOM elements. On mouse leave we will use that because it can be used to reset some users data to default as the user leaves the canvas element. For example, if you have an interactive banner or logo on a website and the user just scrolls down and left the canvas, we will not make any animations. We will just stop or show something default. Okay, mouse move we will also use that. Mouse out will not because we have mouse leave. Mouse over will not use that because mostly it's used for DOM elements. And mouse up we will use that because, as I said, we can reset some users data because user is no longer interacting with the canvas. Okay, also we need to remove this on prefix because we will use native DOM API to add event listeners. So we just need to pass the first argument, which is the name, and the second will be listener. For now we need to create functions for each event type. Let's go and do that. Okay, for on click, for context, and double click, mouse down, mouse leave, mouse up, mouse move. We will use that because, as I said, we will just copy paste our boilerplate file with all this functionality, and we will delete something that we will not use, because deleting something is way faster than adding something new. All these functions should be added to canvas element, and we will use add event listener function to that. This is a native DOM function to attach event listeners. Then I want to create some kind of object, some kind of config inside this. So in this config, all keys will be event names and all values will be these functions. Okay, and I will use object entries. So we will just convert this object to array of arrays, and each value can be destructurized to values, and we will use that. Let me show you quickly what do I mean by object entries. So for example, if we have a config with a key and a value, passing this object to object entries, we will get array of arrays where You see, just split all this information, and this array can be destructured to k and a value. So in our case it is event name and event listener, and then we will just loop through that and add hooks. Now we can say for each destructure each value, and assign event name and event listener here. Okay, so also we need something for canvas itself, because canvas has default sizes, but we want it to be full screen, and when we resize the window, I want canvas be resized as well. So for that we need a resize event, but this event will be added to window itself, because window is being resized and it will affect the canvas, and we will stretch that canvas to be full size. Window add event listener on resize. We need to add this function, and this function will just reset canvas sizes to be window inner width and window inner height sizes. Okay, for now I feel like we need something to initialize all these, because for now we have 2 functions. We should be called even 3 functions that should be called before starting an animations, because we want to add all listeners, we want to resize canvas at the start, and we want to start running our loop function. Let's also remove this loop here. Definitely we will add something more into this function, so initialize function will be very handy, I think. Very important is that we will add this function at the bottom. By doing that, we will make sure that rest of our functions and variables here will have been initialized in this scope by that point. So let's call this function init. Here we want to resize our canvas, add all listeners, and start our loop function. I think we are done, so let's check that. For that we will just copy paste our files to this subfolder we created, and then let's make sure that the reference is valid. Yeah, nice, it should work. Let's go to test, and okay, we don't see any errors. And let's look at our canvas element. Yeah, it should be full screen now. Okay, let's check what we have wrong. Okay, we need, as I said, call this init function. Yes, it happens. Let's quickly add it here, so it should work now. Let's navigate through, and as we loaded this page, I want to be sure, yes, canvas is always full screen even when we resize that. Yeah, and let's quickly add console log to each callback functions just to check if it works. Okay, hovering works, clicking works. Now you see it triggers a few events because we have click, down, and mouse up, right hand side. Yeah, should work. Let's go to our template file, and yeah, we are pretty much done. I just want to pass an event to each of these functions, because this event has a property like client X, client Y, width and size, and yeah. So in the next video we will start working on our first animations. Stay tuned, subscribe, share, like this video.